started here. It's a new day. It's a brand new way to get into thinking and to get into being. Now, let's start off. We are not forced to experience this life in a suffering, stressful, worrisome way. We are meant to experience life in its fullness with love, with abundance, okay? With joy, with happiness. But in the environment that we're in the society that we're in, with the traumas that we experience. And if you know me, you know I know trauma. But you don't even have to know me to know I know trauma, because you see me. You can see the dark skin tone that I have. And there is so much history just in the genes that we carry. There's also a bloodline of trauma. So today is a little snippet about how to perceive your experience in the most progressive way. Why is that important, you may ask? Because what you think is what you become. So if you think this shit ain't gonna get better, if you think that life is just so hard and everything is just so messed up, that's what you're gonna become. You're gonna become your suffering. You're gonna become that difficulty. And you're gonna become your stress and every other low vibrational or a negative way of thinking, which is not progressive to growth at all. So it's important that you perceive life as you can do it. You can get through this. You can manifest the solutions that you seek. Now, I'm not very religious at all. Raised and born in church. Raised and basically nurtured into Christianity. But guess what? I understand now how the true salvation is within. So as far as the wisdom I acquire and that I'm sharing with you all, is not going to be based off of any doctrines or rules and regulations of a religious practice. Kudos to all that practice religion. You see what I'm saying? That's how my journey to understanding myself began, was through being saved by Jesus Christ and learning how to unlock my mind for true peace and true freedom. And mind you, true perception does not make you who you are until you apply what you perceive life as. That application will help you process things. Simple as that. Now, I also admit, I'm not somebody who's experienced, like, oh my gosh, the worst stress. I would say I've had a pretty great fucking life. The basic foundation of my suffering comes from generational trauma that's being healed, and also some things that I put myself through. We can all admit that we've internalized things we put ourselves through. And in that internalizing and that processing of what you put yourself through, it can be suffering. You can perceive that experience you went through as suffering. Or you can perceive it possibly, positively, learning lessons out of it. And right now, with everything going on, the mind is all. The universe is mental. You are a reflection of everything you see around you. So I ask you, what do you see when you look in the mirror? And I'm not just saying stand here and look at yourself. Be like, okay, I see a nose, I see ears, I see some edges that could be brushed back. No. Look in the mirror and really tell me what you see. Half of us, majority of us, are not able to do that. We can look at everything else. We can look at Instagram, we can look at Facebook, we can look at Twitter, we can look at TikTok. We can look at the destruction that's going on in this world. Or we can also look at the positives, wherever your sight leads you to. But when it's time to look in the mirror at your reflection, what is it that you see? Who is it that you perceive yourself to be? What is it that you perceive yourself to be? I doubt that answer is something that you can just easily respond. Me? What do I see when I look in the mirror? I see beauty. And not just because of my features, but because my soul is beautiful. My energy is beautiful. Like, I emulate lights. I radiate light from within. I see love. You see what I'm saying? Like, I see joy. I see happiness. I see pain also. I see pain because I know what I've been through. And I know what I've learned from what others are going through. But it's the ability to see. It's the ability to perceive beyond the physical. So the core of your perception will determine your final destination. How do you perceive what you go through? How do you perceive the experiences that you come into contact with? How do you perceive what's going on right now? Even if it's not in your own life and what you see in others' life. How do you perceive these experiences? Your perception will ultimately be helpful or harmful to your journey. And I know this because of my own cycles that I had to break. It's still breaking constantly, every day, of perceiving and thinking that this shit is just so fucked up. It's so hard. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. Or even perceiving the solution as external of me. Everything that we need is right within us. It's right inside of us. We don't have to go seeking outward. But yet we continue to do that. And we wonder why things are so hard. We wonder why we struggle. We wonder why we stress. We wonder why we hurt. We wonder why there's so much pain. Because we put ourselves through it. Stop putting yourself through the pain. Stop putting yourself through the suffering. Stop putting other people through the suffering. If you're going to be miserable on your own. But I choose higher. I choose a higher state of being. I choose the highest state of being. And with that message, I want to tell you all, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in and tapping in. DM me if you have any questions or you just want to talk more on the topic.
Zempilo ma Umu toti ti, oti ti 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 ti